In 2015, the U.S. Army expanded a program that allows immigrants with useful military skills to enlist in order to fast-track their U.S. citizenship. The program is intended to raise the number of such service members from a hard cap of 1,500 per year to 5,000 through 2016. The decision to include foreign nationals with skills such as translation and medical support points to the growing pool of potential applicants that the military is willing to field. It also encourages increased diversity within the armed forces. So how diverse is the United States military really? Well, over the past 2 decades, racial inclusion and greater opportunities for minorities has shown to have a profound impact on U.S. military demographics. Since 1995, the total number of minority service members has risen from about 25% to roughly 31% in 2014. However, the percentage of minorities in higher ranking positions has more than doubled in percentage. This suggests a change in what used to be 90% white leadership roles. Today, demographics of officers are considerably closer to the real population. However, whites are still slightly overrepresented and minorities are slightly underrepresented. Among active duty personnel, however, this under and overrepresentation is reversed. Only about 70% of personnel are white, with roughly 17% African American. Moreover, within the Army and Marine Corps, the percentage of minorities has fallen since 1995. Despite rising within the Department of Defense as a whole. Interestingly, the U.S. military has struggled to reflect the changing role of women in society. In 1973, after ending the all-male military draft, the number of women in enlisted ranks jumped from 1 in 50 to about 1 in 7. However, over the past decade, the proportion of women has risen barely 0.5% between 2000 and 2012. Of the different branches, the Air Force has the greatest ratio of recruits, with roughly 1/5 of the ranks comprised of women. In contrast, the Marine Corps has the lowest female representation, comprising only about 1/10 of its members. There's also a larger proportion of African American women than men within the ranks, and women in general are less likely to have served in combat roles, although they are just as likely to be officers. Now, there is a stereotype that military service is utilized by people from lower income backgrounds. However, recruitment estimates from the mid-2000s found that a majority came from middle and upper middle income regions. In fact, lower income applicants were considerably underrepresented. Out of over 1.3 million active duty military personnel, those who want to serve have been slowly lining up with the country's overall demographics. As minorities and immigrants see huge strides within American society, they also see higher rates of military membership. However, limits on types of service, for example, the exclusion of women from combat roles before 2013, has likely kept the proportion artificially low. As further discriminatory barriers are lowered, so will the racial and gender disparity. The U.S. military is often regarded as one of the world's most powerful, but what other world militaries come out on top? Learn more in our video here.
One can also measure military power through total military expenditure. You might have a 5 million strong army, but a small fleet of expensive aircraft would have little trouble winning a war of attrition. In this regard, the United States is by far the most powerful army in the world. With a budget of roughly $600 billion, the U.S. spends more on its military than the next 7 countries combined. China, the next biggest spender, has a military budget of about $130 billion.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more TestTube news videos every day.